Hi, hello, it's me, Mariel. Today I'll be comparing two steaks. I have one that is frozen and it's really cheap. So this is 500 grams of steak. It was about $10.50. So each piece is about $3.30. Let's say $3.40, okay? So one slice of this is only $3.40, okay? Compared to this Australian bread, Australian family-owned, flavorsome beef, consistent quality, grain-fed beef. Okay. So this was $13 and it's 200 grams, and this is like $3 per steak leh. $3 leh. So it's about 175 grams according to my dad, compared to this 200 grams. So the price difference is about $10 compared this steak versus this steak. Okay. Okay. So this one is a $13 one. To be very honest, right? Doesn't this one look much more appealing? But maybe it looks slightly more artificial than the other one. But it said no artificial things on the package. So what I'll do to prepare the steaks, right? I will just cover them in salt and pepper on both sides. Let's do pepper first. This is just coarse pepper, so just... It's okay to put a lot because by the time where you pan fry it and sear it, right, all of the saltiness and all of the pepper will kind of go to the wash that you use to kind of like wash over the steaks later. Later I'll show you how it's like. Then I'll just take this salt, put it on my hand, and then do this. Okay, that's really salty, but it's fine. Then flip it to the other side and then do the same with the salt and pepper. Do it. Okay, I tried. Okay, I want a little bit more salt. Okay, let me just rub a bit of the salt. Then back to pepper. Back! Then once it's hot, let's start with the more fatty one first. So I'll do the cheap steak first. Lay away from you guys, so you have to put it this way. I don't like to wipe the pan usually, but that's just me. And also, the first time I actually learned to cook a steak, it was like a 3-minute YouTube video, so I'm probably not the best person to watch, but it still tastes good, guys. Okay, and then I'll just flip this first. Okay, they're kind of golden already. I'm just gonna add, this is about, I guess, 10 grams of butter. Let it go all around the pan. It smells so good already. Just by one block of butter, I'll add one more. Flip it out. I'll add about 3 pieces of garlic cloves, without doing anything to them, just after peeling. And then I'll do a little bit of rosemary. That much should be enough. And then, like I said, you kind of have to just let me kind of mix it in there. Okay, the whole balcony right now, guys, it smells so good. Okay, like I said, right? Okay, usually I will do this away from me, but for the camera purposes, you put this here, and then you wash over it with your hot butter. Looking at this steak right now, I think you don't really have to do the test anymore because I think it's pretty well done already. I'm gonna put it on a cutting board and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. All the smoke. Okay. Into the cutting board and then let it sit. And we're back! Okay, steak number 2. Away from you. This has more juices and it's less dry too. Because see earlier I was moving it, right? There was no liquid from the previous steak, but this has some. Okay, so after moving it around a while, I'll just flip it over. butter goes in now. Let's lessen the heat a little bit too. Next stick of butter. Then I'll add 3 pieces of garlic again, along with a half a teaspoon of rosemary. Garlic this time. I add about that much. So this has cooking longer because been cooking longer, so let me flip it before I taste it. It's kind of golden right now. Then it's time to do some basting. I think because the steaks are really thin, you don't really need to do this for a very long time. But maybe if your steaks are thicker, continue to baste them longer. To all my beginner friends out there, right? You don't even have to actually baste it if it's very thin, but I just choose to. So you can maybe leave it on 2 minutes on each side. But of course, do keep a lookout of like how done you want your steak to be. My sister and I like it pretty well done. We don't really like very bloody steaks. So I usually cook them a little bit longer. You can see it kind of sears all the way around, all the way around the steak already. I'll let it sear the other side and baste it for a little bit, and then I'll take it off the heat. Okay. Let's cook that side a little bit longer to get a little bit more seared, and then I'll turn it off again. I think that's good enough. I kind of want to avoid overcooking the steaks as well. Here. Let me take it off the heat and then mix some. I'll just put it in the same chopping board as the other steak. Okay, as you can see, the cheek steak has actually started to dry out a little bit. Actually a lot. I think it's actually pretty hard right now. Okay, this still hasn't had the chance to rest yet. I think this one will still be pretty juicy after a few minutes. Let's see how it turns out later on. I'm back! So while the steaks are resting, I'll just quickly whip up some asparagus because we have some in the fridge. So I'll just pan fry them with some butter. Let me turn the pan on. Okay, this one I don't really have to wait for it to get hot. I'll straight away just put some butter in there. Okay, as the butter melts, I'm just gonna add about a handful of asparagus as sides for our steaks. Oops, it nearly flew. Can you guys tell at this point there's no more recipes? It's kind of just like add a little bit here, add a little bit there, but let's try one. I think it should be really done soon. Good. This is really awesome. Okay, this is pretty much done. And we're back. Okay, actually my mom cut the steaks and then she kind of put the asparagus to kind of separate the cheap one and the expensive one.
As like you guys know, there's the cheap one and then the more expensive meat. So we don't know what is what and what side is on which side. So we have to guess it. Then my dad or my mom will tell us which is the right
actually
answer.
which.
Yeah.
Wait, let me kind of show my sauce first. It kind of looks a little bit weird, but that's because the butter melted on top of it. So actually what I did was, it's sort of like a teriyaki pepper sauce. Then I put like a block of butter on top to kind of melt it. I'll do the one on the right first. Let's do without any sauces.
The right, okay.
It looks like that.
Okay, 1, 2, go. Let's try it with the sauce. I think it would be better with the sauce.
Okay, to be fair, right, I think I kind of overcooked the steaks a little bit. Just a little bit. Usually when I cook it, the center of the steaks are still kind of pinkish or still kind of, yeah, usually pinkish, not really red because we don't do that. I mean, we can take that kind of level of rawness. I'll do mine with sauce too, the same one. I'll do a bite this time because that was a huge bite because I ate the whole thing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
But we both went for the asparagus.
This is a cleanser bite.
Casualty number 1.
The asparagus is good, right? I kind of cooked it a little bit longer so it's softer than usual. I'll do the left side. Okay, just by poking, this is softer than the other one. I think. Without sauce first, you do it
Yeah.
sauce.
No.
Cheers.
They're so huge. This is harder to chew.
Let's dip it in some sauce now.
I'll take a small one.
I'll wait for you to cheers. Here.
We should put a real sound effect instead of just faking it ourselves.
Okay, I think I got the answers pretty good. I mean, to me, it's pretty easy to say which is which,
It's easy for me too.
right? If you get this wrong, I'll be shocked.
Answer.
Wait.
Why you make me wait?
Okay, let's go with you put your hand on which one you think is the expensive one.
Okay. Which side is the expensive?
Yeah, and then you go like 1, 2, 3, and then you choose
Okay, expensive one first or cheap one first?
expensive one first.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Right. Correct.
Correct.
See?
See? So this is the expensive one. We're
So-
both right, right?
Ultimately, the left side for mine and the right side for her is the cheap one.
Okay, so let me try to explain.
Okay, wait.
like
Let
how-
me say it in a
Okay, yeah, you do it.
human
Yeah, yeah.
terms. Okay. For me, like you can really tell in the video, like for me, the right side was just easier to chew compared to the left side. Like the left side, I really had like a hard time chewing it, and I had to like chew it like very thoroughly. So like the right side for me was a little bit better. And like when you poke your finger, like you can tell like it's so much softer. I mean, did I say with
Yeah,
the finger?
softer. You poke your
A fork. I said finger. When you poke it with a fork, it's like so much softer than the left side. So like that's the only way I knew that the right side was the more expensive than the left. So other than that, she shall explain.
Okay, so for me, right? I'm not sure if you can see. Let me try to show the camera. This is the cheap one. Can you see the grains of the meat? It's kind of like there's not a lot of lines in between for the sauces and whatnot to seep into. So this actually has less flavor than the expensive one because, okay, let me show you the expensive this time. You can kind of see all the lines in there where all the sauces and whatnot can seep into, right? So there's a lot more crevices, so it tastes better generally. And then maybe because of all the like crevices, it makes it a lot softer to eat as well. And then even though I kind of overcooked it, it still tastes pretty good, like the expensive one. The cheap one, you can see this is another piece where it's kind of like a whole block, and if you hold it by hand, it's pretty firm. Like it doesn't really bounce as much compared to the expensive one. Okay, that just kind of broke, like telling you how soft it is. This still, you see, I can press my finger in about that much. Let me show you the cheap one. Okay, it only goes that much. Then if I press it the way that it was cooked, right, it still kind of moves, but it's a lot harder than the other one. What else did I... If you guys want this sauce recipe, comment down below. It's pretty good. It's like Japanese inspired but kind of like Western sauce. Oh, let me show you guys another thing. You can kind of see the difference in the fat color between this is the cheap one. Can you see the fat is a little bit yellow, and then this one the fat's still kind of white, like it's right here, this pocket.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, this is fat. Can you see that? So there's a difference in... I have no idea what's the reason for the difference, but this fat is harder to chew than this one. This piece of fat in the expensive one, right, it's like a pocket of like umami burst. But this one in the cheap one is like a piece, it's a piece of meat that's really hard to chew. So I think that's one of the biggest difference that you can see when you try the steaks. To end off, let's go with the conclusion that I think we kind of both agree that the $30 steak is much more worth it. As a typical YouTuber will say, please click like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you can see more videos like this one. Okay, bye! See you next year!
Bye-bye.
Bye!